Okay, so it says corresponding to every power there is a root. For example, just as there are squares, second powers, there are square roots. Just as there are cubes, which are third powers, there are cube roots, and so on. So 5 squared would give me 25. If I took the square root of 25, I would end up with 5. 5 cubed gives me 125. If I took the cube root of 125, I would end up with, do y'all get that? Okay. So the definition of the nth root is down there if you want to go back and look at it, but we're fixing to get into it in just a second so you'll understand it better. So this is what's known as a radical sign, if you don't know this already. Okay? What's underneath this radical sign is called your radicand. And this right here is the important thing that you need to know today. This little thing right here, which is usually an n, this is known as your index. And your index gives the degree of the root. This is an important part of our lesson today. You need to make sure you are looking at the degree of the root because they're going to change from 2 to 3 to 4 to 5 to 6, whatever they are. You need to make sure you know what your degree of your problem is. You're fixing to see. Like a square root, a cubed root, fourth root, a fifth root. You need to know what you're looking for. So one other thing you need to know before we get started today is this chart right here. So if I have an even root and my number is positive, I'm going to have 2 answers. If I have an even root and my number is 0, I'm going to have 1 answer. If I have an even root and my number is negative, I'm going to have no answers. If I have an odd root and a positive number, I'm going to have 1 answer. If I have an odd root and my number is 0, I'm going to have 1 answer. If I have an odd root and my number is negative, I'm going to have 1 answer. So obviously, if I have an odd root, I know I'm only going to have 1 answer. But if I'm looking at an even root, I might have more than 1 answer or no answer at all. So you need to pay very close attention to your roots, especially if they are even roots. So let's look at a problem. They want us to find all the real cube roots of 0.008, negative 1,000, and 1/27. Now, what are we looking for? All the cube roots. What is a cube? 3, right? So that means we're taking the cube root of this. We're taking the cube root of this. And we're taking the cube root of this. Now, obviously, these can be done in a calculator. So the cube root of 0.008. How do I get to the cube root in my calculator? How do I get to the cube root in my calculator? Math and number 4. So math button, go down to where it says 3 cube root, and I'm going to type in 0.008, and I get what? 0.2. Then I'm going to go in and I'm going to put the cube root of negative 1,000, and I'm going to get what? Negative 10. And then the cube root of 1/27 gives me 1/3. Now I need to make sure, according to my chart, that I'm only going to have 1 answer on every single one of these. Okay? What kind of root do I have? Which is a odd number, correct? So if I go back and I have an odd root, well, look, I know that all of my answers are only going to be 1 answer. So I'm good. There's Okay, so let's look at the fourth roots. So I want the fourth root of 1, the fourth root of negative 0.0001, and the fourth root of 16 over 81. So if I'm looking for the fourth root, they're going to be written like this. Does anybody know how to put the fourth root in your calculator? First, I got to tell the calculator what root is before I can even go to math. So I'm going to hit 4. Then I'm going to go to math. Then I'm going to go down to 5. Because if I choose 5, it has an X up in the top left-hand corner. Everybody see that? I'm telling the calculator to put 4 in that X spot. So 4, math, choose number 5, and then type in 1. And I get 1. So 4, math, choose 5, and then type in negative 0.0001, and I get what? Error. Okay, we'll come back to that one in just a second. And then I'm going to type in 4, math, choose 5, 16 over 81, and I get
2 over 2/3.
So 2/3. Hit math enter and it gives you 2/3. Okay, so we need to check our answers and make sure we got it right. Okay? So I'm looking at what kind of root? An even root. What kind of number is this right here? So an even root and a positive number. Everybody see that? So I'm going to go back. I've got an even root and a positive number. How many answers am I going to have? 2. So that means this is going to be positive negative 1. Now, I have an even root and I have a negative number. So I'm going to go back. Even root, negative number. How many answers am I going to have? So that error right there means none. And then the bottom one, I have an even root and a positive number. How many answers am I going to have? So that's going to be a positive or a negative 2/3. Y'all have to pay attention to that, or you're going to miss every single one of them. Let's look at B. Everybody look at B. Says the fourth root of negative 81. Y'all tell me what y'all get. The fourth root of negative 81. An error. So that's chances are I'm going to have what? No answers. Because I have an even root and a negative number. Well, my chart tells me if I have an even root and a negative number, my answer is going to be none. What about C? C says the square root of negative 7 squared. Well, what's negative 7 squared? 49. And the square root of 49 is 7. I have a